do you have an image that is troubling to you? Get 4 positive images in your mind's eye, put them in the 4 different spots, and then whack right in the middle that negative one. Fire off the good feelings around the negative one. Neutralize it down. They say we need 4 or 5 positive experiences to offset a negative. That's what we're doing here. Hey everyone, this is Matt Tait from Fork in the Road YouTube channel and Fork in Road Coaching, and I'm here to share with you another exercise. Well, this one's at the back of the book, Transforming Yourself by Steve Andreas. And transforming yourself by Steve Andreas is about becoming who you want to become, who you want to be, shifting your identity. So what we're doing today is we're looking at this last little piece in the back of the book, and that is perspective patterns. So Steve Andreas has looked at the perspective pattern, and the reason why they've looked at that is because some people get very stuck in tunnel vision and really go through pain and don't open their field of vision to look at the big picture, to look at things from a different perspective. And so the perspective pattern is about opening up that field of vision. So that's what we're going to do today, and he's got 3 offers on the table for us. Number 1 is the visual pattern, number 2 is the auditory pattern, and number 3 is the kinesthetic pattern. And so we'll go in there and have a look at how we can open up our field of vision, our perspective, so we don't get so caught in our own little ego, in our own point of view, and we can see there is a bigger picture at play. And maybe we don't have all the information. Now, as an NLP coach, I know that we do 3 things as human beings. We distort, we generalize, and we delete. Delete, distort, generalize. We do these 3 things. And as a result, we cannot possibly have all the information in our head because we've filtered too much of it out. Our reticular activating system, our filters, our memories, all of those things have filtered so much information out, we can't possibly know the whole reality of what's going on around us. And so with that in mind, that's where the perspective pattern is going to be very powerful. So as I go through into the next piece, he talks about here the visual perspective pattern. And so he likes to demonstrate the pattern, and we'll have a look at that in just a moment. And so he talks about here, I'd like to demonstrate this pattern in the visual system with someone who has an image that still troubles you in some way. Do you have an image in your mind that troubles you? It's an image, a picture, something that is still giving you bad feelings in the body. This image that pops up. Have a think about that as I read on. I don't need to know anything about the content, which is so much better than old school psychology in that you don't need to know anything. We can just scramble it out of there. And so he talks to this gentleman and he says, keep the content to yourself. I don't want to know anything. I like that. And he says, you have an image that when you think about it is still bothering you. So the gentleman says yes. And he notices that Mike's breathing, Mike's the gentleman in the seminar, becomes shallower and his body becomes very still. He's accessing something. And so, yep, not a lot, but it still does bother me. And so take that picture and just set it aside somewhere for the moment. And now I want you to think of 4 resourceful experiences, one at a time, perhaps ones that you think might be particularly useful in relation to the images that still bother you. And I'd like your unconscious mind to participate fully in this selection process. I want you to develop an image for each of these 4 resources. So you've got to think about 4 experiences. If you've got a bad image in your mind, what's 4 experiences you've got, 4 images you can make in your mind that would be the antidote to that feeling and the situation and help you be more resourceful. So think about that. And so he's created these 4 images. And then what he wants to do is take these 4 images and make them about 18 inches high and 18 inches wide. And what's that? About 450 centimeters by 450 centimeters. So quite large. and then place them together so that you can see all 4 pictures at once as a large collage about 3 feet in front of you. Some people like an image that put Velcro on the back of the images, and they place them there. They can hear the little sound Velcro makes when it sticks. And that way they know it will stay put. And when you have all 4 pictures up there, it'll be a little harder to see the details of what's in each one, because they're a bit, they're a bit smaller, but you still know what's there. Take whatever time you need to set that up and let me know when it's ready. Okay, so think of an image that is not serving you, and then think of 4 images that are. Make them about 18 inches across, or 450 millimeters, and bring them about 2 or 3 feet away from you, about a meter away. So you've got these 4 images. They're big images. They're positive images. So keeping this collage intact, he then says, I'd like you to take that image that we started with that still bothered you and place it right in the middle of the collage so that it covers up just the inner corners of these 4 resource pictures where they met the center of the collage. You may want to adjust the size of the troubling image a bit so that it lies flat and becomes part of the collage, leaving most of the 4 resource pictures visible. Then notice how you respond to the troublesome image in the context of those 4 images. And Mike says it takes the juice out of it. So there's less feeling response to it, is that right? Yes. So that is a decrease in the intensity of the feeling. And does that change the quality or kind of response that you have in any way? Well, I guess the quality of my response is more one of understanding rather than reaction. All right, so this gentleman was a bit triggered. So he goes through that, and he then says, you have the choice, let's see, he then says, you said it clearly, already working on the solution to the situation. Yes, I was working on a solution. I knew there was a solution to the problem. What I was uncomfortable about was my reaction to the situation kind of set off a bell. Why am I having such a strong reaction to this situation? Clearly I can work out a solution, but what else is going on? Did you access 4 different experiences or 4 different states of mind? And then he says, I had images of 4 different experiences that I'd had before. So you can access states of mind, or you can actually just access positive experiences to offset that feeling. Right, so you got a triggered off feeling in the body, surround it with 4 positive images, within the middle the negative one, shrink the negative one down a bit, and then just access the feelings of those 4 positive, and then look at the negative, the one that gave you the bad feeling. Kind of takes the edge off it. It's called the visual perspective pattern. And so here is the visual perspective exercise outline. So I'll take you through this now. I've read that little first piece out for you. Let's jump into the video, into the next this activity. Remember a troubling image, test to be sure it is still bothersome, and notice your response to it. There's a change in the body. Number 2 is identify 4 specific relevant positive resource experiences and get an image for each. Number 3, create a large collage out of these 4 images, about 3 foot high and 3 foot wide and 3 foot away from you, right? So you've got the 4 images in that 3 foot by 3 foot. And then place the troubling images in the center of this so that it overlaps just the inner corners of the 4 resource images and lies flat, becoming just part of the image, the collage. Number 5, notice how your response changes in both quantity and quality. If your responses don't change, back up in the process and get different resources and make other adjustments. Okay, so switch roles and then share this and discuss your experiences. So that is the exercise. And so I'm going to think now of a troubling image. Yeah, I got a troubling image from the past. Yeah, just bothersome, just annoys me. Yep. I think I got one. Alright, so I've got this troublesome image. There's an image of an old workplace situation where someone got angry, and it still pops in my mind from every now and then. So I've got that image. So what would be a resource that I can have when this person was getting narky and angry at me? And 4 states of mind might be I'm confident, I'm self-assured, I'm grounded, and I'm at peace internally. What would be those experiences? Let's see, if I go and grab confidence, I've got an image from when I was playing cricket and I made 100. I was confident that day. Over here I've got an image of self-assured. I've got an image going into meetings where I was self-assured, I was very well prepared, so I'm going to take that one. That feels good. Let's see, grounded was another one. I'm actually looking at here, and here at the moment. Down here I've got grounded. When was I grounded? I think when I've taught in the classroom in front of students, and I'd been doing it a few years, that was very grounding. And calm or peaceful. I've got myself, I did yoga for a few years, so I've got myself doing yoga, and I was always very calm and peaceful at the end of a yoga session. I was all stretched up and stretched out, and my mind had finally quietened down. So I've got those 4 resource states. I've got the yoga, I've got you've got the negative one's the work one. I'm going to put that in the middle in a minute. I've got a whole range of different experiences that are popping into my mind now. More are coming, so I've got to pick the 4. So yoga, we'll stick with that. Cricket, we'll stick with that, with making the 100, and that was confidence. Grounded. Do I want to pick a different one for grounded? Let's just go with going into meetings. That was good. So yoga, cricket, meetings, and what's the other one? Centered. I'm going to go with centered, where I just knew what to do. And I'm going back to, the teaching. Teaching. I'm going to put teaching there. All right, so I've got teaching, I've got yoga, I've got cricket, and I've got meetings. So meetings, teaching, yoga, and cricket. Right, they're my 4 images. So I'm just putting them in my collage just in front of myself, and they all make me feel really good. Interesting mix of feelings, actually, as I access each one. Yoga, knowing being well prepared, grounded, meetings. Yeah, cool. And now I'm going to put the troubling image in the middle of the angry workmate. So put them in the middle, shrink it down, have them on the edge, but I can still see the other images nice and big around it. Just kind of neutralizes any feeling that was in that picture. Very interesting. So I've taken an image that was troubling, I've put it in the middle of 4 good images. That is the simplicity of the perspective pattern. Really spend some time feeling, hearing, and seeing the 4 positive images, fire off those feelings in the body, and then put that and stick it all together with the negative image. That's the perspective pattern in the visual format. There's also the auditory, which is sounds. There's also the kinesthetic, which is feelings, and we'll get into that one in another video. But for this video, we've just done the visual perspective pattern. Do that for yourself. Do you have an image that is troubling to you? Get 4 positive images in your mind's eye, put them in the 4 different spots, and then whack right in the middle that negative one. Fire off the good feelings around the negative one. Neutralize it down. They say we need 4 or 5 positive experiences to offset a negative. That's what we're doing here. And of course, if those 4 images aren't working, go and grab 4 more. You've got a whole lifetime of experiences to tap into, to counter, to move yourself forward. So I hope that's been helpful today. This is Matt Tait from Fork in the Road YouTube channel, Fork in the Road Coaching, and check out my new videos as they come out on a regular basis. As always, like and subscribe to the channel. Continue growing the database and getting everybody more of these videos out to you on a regular basis so that you can learn for free. And you'll know when these videos have popped up, because I'll pop up if you hit the little bell. Okay, I'll see you next time. Matt Tait signing out.